for ourselves leads us to be in relationships that we have outgrown for years. Leads us to be in friendships that are not suitable for where we're wanting to go in the future. To love and be loved is the ultimate gift. The mistake most of us make is that we build our homes and other people in the hopes that they will deem us worthy of being welcomed inside. Ooh. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And then we feel abandoned and empty when people leave because we've invested so much of ourselves in them. And when they take their home with them, we literally feel homeless. Hello, beautifuls. My name is Giselle, co-host of the Strong Sunflowers podcast and founder and CEO of The Create app, an app created specifically for content creators. So if you have an event, a baby shower, a wedding, and you need people to get content of you, you can hire local content creators in your area. I'm so excited for this project to come to life. Oh my gosh, it should be out now. In February, we're launching. It's happening. I'm so excited. But make sure that you follow us on Instagram to get all the latest news. But baby, let's talk about it. I do not want to be chosen anymore. I want to do the choosing. Because can we get real for a sec? How many of us are still waiting for someone to pick us? For someone to say we're enough, that we're worthy, for someone to show us our value, for freaking validation. We've been conditioned to wait for the relationship, to wait for the opportunities, to wait for the validation of who? When the validation should come from within. And no one can tell you that more than me, because I grew up Mormon and on Disney. And baby, the biggest gift, the ultimate dream was to be chosen by a man for marriage. And that led me to literally marry the first man that ever called me beautiful and meant it. He chose me. And I ended up divorced 4 years later because again, I didn't choose. I was chosen. There's something so beautiful when we get to choose each other. And it's not a one-sided thing. When you give your power of choice away, you're choosing validation. You want to be validated. No choice is a choice. Not choosing for ourselves leads us to be in relationships that we have outgrown for years. Leads us to be in friendships that are not suitable for where we're wanting to go in the future. I personally have worked so hard on my people-pleasing tendencies, but when it comes to people that I love or that once loved, I'd rather them walk away. I'd rather them break my heart than having to make that choice. I just posted how my 4-year situationship ended. And with me realizing that this man has never chosen me. You know, I was always a maybe. I was always a lo mejor in his eyes. We met each other in between my separation and divorce. I literally separated in 2020 and that's when we met during the pandemic. And I feel like for the longest time after my divorce, I felt like I wasn't home and I just needed a safe space. One of my favorite all-time books is Welcome Home. And if you haven't read this, you have to. Literally in the introduction, baby, the first page, she says, the mistake most of us make is that we build our homes and other people in the hopes that they will deem us worthy of being welcomed inside. Ooh. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And then we feel abandoned and empty when people leave because we've invested so much of ourselves in them. And when they take their home with them, we literally feel homeless. And right now I find myself in the privilege of being able to be self-aware enough to see it play out in my own life. Right now, I'm dating this man and we've been on 2 dates and we've been talking for the last 2 weeks. And he's nice. He makes me feel safe. He himself is a safe person. And even though I know that he's not my person, I know, I feel like I've been trying to step out of my comfort zone and not rush to judgment. So I gave it a second chance. So I went on the second date and might be going on a third date. And this man is safe. This man buys me flowers. This man wakes me up with good morning texts and checks up on me throughout the day. This man loves to shower me with surprises. And he's even thinking ahead of we should do something for Valentine's Day and we should go on a date. And he's invested into what a future of with us might look like. And I literally felt like my life flashed before my eyes. And I could see it 6 months, down the line, to a year down the line, and having not only my time wasted, but both of our time wasted because I know this person is not my person. And me being here is just a safe thing to do because this man is choosing me. He is pouring into me, but I can't live life unsafe, So now I have to tell this man that everything is great and that he's a great person, but that things are just not gonna work out. I sometimes find myself wearing my wedding ring, and not because I miss my ex-husband, but because now I understand what the meaning of the wedding ring means. And I crave that. I crave deep connection. I crave intimacy. I crave love so deep that the mere thought of losing it tears me apart. I just recently watched The Notebook, and I hope and pray that that kind of love finds me and never lets me go. To love and be loved is the ultimate gift. To choose each other simultaneously. I think I crave deep and unconditional love because growing up I felt like it was very performative. Like to be loved by my mother, I had to perform. I had to be the best. I had to give you a reason to love me. And I have taken that because I've noticed I have taken that in so many of my relationships. Not that I've had many, but I see it come up in those relationships. And I know that I've taken myself in this self-healing journey, but deep down, that's still something that I crave. That is the thing that I crave the most. And welcome home, she says. All my heart could say then was, why can't I have that? That wasn't the gift. It wasn't the clothes or the candy. That was the love, the warmth, the connection, the feeling of relevance, worth, importance, like I actually belong somewhere. Speaking to my therapist, I was telling a story as if it were happening now. But this time, I could finally see why on a theoretical level, I could speak in front of thousands and tell my audience everything there is to know about self-love and worth and not accepting less than what you deserve. But when it comes to actually applying it to my life, I was that little girl who believed that she didn't deserve that. When something traumatic happens to us, we look for someone to blame. I couldn't blame anyone for not giving me what I couldn't even name. So who did I blame? I blamed myself. I blamed myself for wanting that. I blamed myself for not feeling genuine happiness without that. I even blamed myself for my ache, my longing to feel that. Since that age and up to this day, I've been on a journey to find that. That is home. I feel like that's why I started these whole solo dates the last couple of years, because I felt like I really needed to date myself. I needed to fall in love with myself. I needed to fall in love to creating myself a home where I feel safe, where I feel seen, where I feel valued, where I feel loved. But it really starts with us first. Home is not a physical place. It's a place where your soul feels it belongs, where you can unapologetically be yourself, where you are loved for your authentic self. Home is a place where you don't have to work hard just to be loved. I truly hope and pray that we all find our home, that we all learn to choose ourselves, because we are already chosen. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.